evening, everybody. My name is Rebecca Gooko, and I will be presenting my topic on prebiotics and obesity management. This is in fulfillment for the requirements for my Nutrition 581 class, taken this spring 2018 at Benedictine University. So starting off with our discussion, what makes a prebiotic a prebiotic? There's 3 points. First is it cannot be hydrolyzed nor absorbed in the upper gastrointestinal tract. Secondly, this is important, it is selectively fermented by certain bacteria present in the colon. These bacteria are naturally present and is found in our gut, and they are also capable of altering the microbiota present in the colon towards a healthier state. So prebiotics help help in maintaining or improving the health of an individual. Now, I'm sure that most of you have heard about probiotics before, so let's differentiate between the two before we continue on with this discussion. So, prebiotics versus probiotics. Prebiotics are food for an organism. They are not affected by temperature, acidity, or time. This relates to our colon health, and an example of a prebiotic would be inulin. The studies that we review later on in this discussion used inulin as a prebiotic supplement. Now, probiotics, which we will not be talking about in this discussion, but we're mentioning it now in this slide just to differentiate between the two, are live organisms. They die in non-optimal environments, so if the temperature is too low or too high, they also are affected by acidity and time, so the pH value of its environment is crucial. They assist in our digestive health, and an example of this would be the Lactobacillus species. Okay, so now let's look at examples of prebiotics that can be naturally found. These can be commonly found in our grocery stores, so after this discussion, we can take a look and see if we're actually incorporating these foods in our diet. So prebiotics occur naturally in foods such as leeks, asparagus, chicory. Jerusalem artichokes are also known as sunroots. Common foods such as garlic, onions, wheat, oats, and soybeans. Okay, so how do prebiotics work? Prebiotics are non-digestible food products that selectively stimulates the growth or activity of certain bacteria present in the colon. So the aim of these prebiotics and the quality of health of an individual is to improve the gut microbiota. So two commonly studied prebiotics are inulin and oligofructose. These have been used in various studies to observe the mechanisms of effect on the gut microbiota of an individual. It has been observed that these prebiotics play an important role in gut health. Okay, so now let's look at the effect of prebiotic supplementation on our gastrointestinal health. So a study was taken using the fecal samples of individuals, and this was tested using biochemical methods such as DNA sequencing. This study observed that prebiotic supplementation had a selective effect on the gut microbiota of the tested individuals. It was also observed that the following genera of bacteria in the gut were consistently impacted by prebiotic supplementation. This they observed a decrease in concentration of Bilophila samples after inulin supplementation and an increase in both Bifidobacterium and Anaerostiphes samples. The concentration of Bifidobacterium were increased, and therefore It was seen to have an improvement in gut health and an overall improvement in the quality of life of these individuals. In children's health, a few notable studies observed the effects of prebiotics on small populations of children. Notably, there have been studies in both children and adults and have led to similar results. So, for children's health, there were a few randomized controlled trials. The first one looked at the altering of gut microbiota. As we have discussed earlier, prebiotics are geared towards improving the gut health of an individual, and this was also seen in young children. So, after taking a supplement, these for 16 weeks, and taking the height, weight, and waist circumference of the participants, it was observed that children who were taking the supplement had a significant reduction in their percent of body fat and their body weight. They also used RNA sequencing to compare the composition of the gut microbiota between the placebo group and the supplementation group. And there was an increase in bifidobacterium and a decrease in other bacteria such as Bacteroides vulgaris in the supplementation group, and it was concluded that supplementing children with prebiotics or with prebiotic supplement seemed to alter gut microbiota in a positive manner, and this can lead to future programs or future interventions to help with weight loss and a reduction in overall children obesity. Another one looked at the appetite regulation of children who were taking prebiotic supplements, and it was seen that the supplement group had higher levels of fullness and lower food consumption compared with the placebo group. This study was interesting because the energy intake was measured using breakfast buffets at the start of the study, so baseline and after supplementation. So they were able to observe that these children who did take prebiotic supplements were full faster and they were more prone to not eat as much as those taking a placebo or a control group. Adult health, we saw reductions in insulin and glucose levels of the supplementation group as well as a suppression of the ghrelin hormone. Ghrelin regulates glucose homeostasis by inhibiting the insulin secretion and regulates the gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis cycles in an individual. It was also seen that those taking prebiotic supplements had a reduction of food intake, which is also similar to what we saw in children. Promising these studies may seem with regards to prebiotic supplementation and obesity management, we also have to consider that more research has to be done. We have seen there some research studies that are inconclusive and they require future research. Um, Studies have been found where combinations of inulin and resistant starch um, both helped with obesity management, but the study was found that well, the study observed that there was not quite a direct link that prebiotics would be the direct cause of managing obesity or that weight loss because it combined with resistant starch. So there are studies that have combined prebiotics and other materials and other interventions to lower weight. So more research is needed to see the actual direct effect of prebiotics on obesity management. Um, it was also seen that some children's studies did not have consistent results, so future research will still need to be done. However, this is a very promising route or a very promising solution to obesity, not just in children, but to adults as well. Now, to conclude my presentation, The use of prebiotics is promising for obesity management in both children and adult populations because of its beneficial effects on the gut microbiota of an individual. In line with this, it should also be noted that the use of prebiotics are supplements, so this should also be combined with healthy, balanced diets and exercise for optimal results. So we cannot fully depend on these supplements to help manage obesity. We also have to make sure that we combine it with other healthy methods or other methods of action that will lead towards weight loss and management. And thank you for listening to this presentation. Again, my name is Rebecca Goko, and this is a presentation on prebiotics and obesity management for my Nutri 581 class taken this spring 2018 at Benedictine University. The following slides do show my references, so feel free to look at those for further information. Thank you very much again for listening. I hope you all have a great evening.